Hi everyone, Miss Cox here. I'm one of the English leads here at Pashley, and I'm here to talk to you about changes to our homeschool reading. As a school, we're working hard to improve the link between phonics and reading, and part of that includes matching up our homeschool reading books with the phonics teaching that's happening in the classroom week by week. To support every child to become fluent readers, we really need your help. And from Monday, your child will be bringing home a special reading pack, which will include their reading diary, which will have attached a special reading strategies bookmark, a little reading buddy, I'll talk to you more about that in a moment, a book, which is a phonics class book. Now, this is the biggest change. So on a Monday, every Monday, your child will come home with one of these books, which is matched to their phonic learning that they will be doing that week. And a phoneme mat. So in early years, your phoneme mat will look like this with all the sounds that you'll be covering over the year. And in year one, your phoneme mat will look a little bit different. It will look like this. Okay. You should have had a letter which will give you all of this information that I'm talking to you about. But on the first page, it gives you some possible three sessions that you can do with your child at home, working with any book that your child brings home to read. So I'm just going to go through that a little bit and what that can look like. Okay, so with any book that you're reading with your child, it's really good to break it down. In the first session, it tells you to just really have a look at the book, have a look at the title, find the phonic sounds. So the phonic sounds that this book will cover will either be on the back of the book or it may well be in the front cover. Okay, so just going through those sounds, having a chat about them, any tricky words. Sometimes it gives you the words, it will give you the words to have a look at that might be tricky that are coming up in the book. And then you can have a little look with your child, read through the book. Can you find any of the sounds that that you're focusing on, the book's focusing on? Can you find any tricky words that the book is focusing on? And that's really like your first session. Okay, session 2 would be having a good read of the book. So it might be only half the book, it might be the whole book. It's however, you know, you are led by your child. Sometimes children are very tired and need a little bit more help. So, you know, it's really good that you can share the reading, maybe word by word or sentence by sentence. Sometimes if you're saying the sentence, your child can read that sentence back and then be following along, tracking either with their eyes or with their finger to what you're reading. So there's lots of things that you can do to support that, you know, your child being more fluent with that book. And also this is a good time to get the bookmark out and have a look at some of these skills. So if your child is struggling to decode, that means to break down the word to read it, then these are some strategies that you can use with your child to work out those trickier words that they're struggling to break, you know, to sound out. So these are some strategies that you can use on this side. Okay, and then on the other side, it's got some questions. So if your child has brought home a book and you'd like to ask them some questions, these are perfect to ask the questions to ask them. The little reading buddy. Oh, where is there it is, my little reading buddy. This is just to help your child track along. Okay, so you might want to draw a little smiley face on it. And then your child can use that to track along, or maybe to point to sounds that they can notice or tricky words that they can spot in the text. So it's just a little guide, a little something fun that you can do to either find those tricky sounds, find those tricky words, or use it to track along with their reading. So it's a little reading buddy. It'd be lovely to see anybody who decorates those and makes them look really, really nice and fun. For the third read, the third session, the suggestion is this is just about fluency. So speed reading, so making sure that your child can actually read it fluently. And what we mean by that is, are they, you know, they're not sounding out every word. Are they able to read without having to sound out lots and lots? If they're still having to sound out, that's absolutely fine. Just go back and just do some of the, you know, some of the shared readings, so choral reading, so read together, or you say, they say, so you read a sentence and they say it back to you, or you could do it together, so paired reading. So if your child is not fluent with this book by the end of the week, it's not a problem. Just keep working through some of those strategies that are explained on the letter. Okay. Then on a Friday, this book, the Class Phonic Reader, needs to come back into school. And this is really, really important that these books come back, because they are class sets. And then the next class will get to take this book home the following week. So we do rotate the books. So it's really important that these books do come back in on a Friday, and we all have a little register to tick off the books that do come back in. So it's really important these books come back in. Okay, so you might be asking, well, okay, that's great. They've got a phonetic reader linked to their phonics learning. What about other books that we read? We're still encouraging the children to change their free choice books as much as they can. So this is still the same. So these are the books that have the colour stickers on, with dots on. Okay, so we're still encouraging the children to change these as much as possible, because we know that it's nice for children to actually have their own choice as well as the books that we're sending home that we're directing you to read with them. It's really good for them to have their own choice. And just a reminder that what these dots mean. So when your child starts at a new sort of colour band level, they will start with a 1 dot. Okay, so that's just coming into this level. It's just getting used to the different sounds that are in that level and the different digraphs, the different phonemes, things like that, that your child will be covering. Then the 2nd dot is a bit of consolidation, so it's a little step up from this level, and it's some trickier words, some trickier sounds in. And then this level, so the 3 dots, is just getting ready for the next colour band level. Okay, so the children normally go through each of those bands, but it's completely up to your teacher, who will decide the level that your child is at and will decide what band they need to be bringing home. So these books can be changed at any time during the week by the children. We really encourage them to do that. So we're not saying that this replaces any other reading. It's just to really support your child with their phonetic awareness, with that phoneme that they're working on school in that week. Okay. All the information is on the letter, but of course, if there's anything that you're not sure about or you have any questions, do feel free to ask your class teacher, or you can message myself or Mrs. Lewis, and we're happy to get back to you. We're really hoping that you enjoy all the new reading packs that we're going to be sending home and enjoy reading with your child, because ultimately we do want to encourage that above everything else, that your child becomes an avid reader and enjoys reading above all. And these are just things that we're putting in place to support your child to become a more fluent reader, so that we can get them there a bit quicker. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.